All right, kiddos, welcome back to Coach Holland's Home. Tonight, I'm going to show you how to make the real deal mac and cheese. This is not out of a box by any means. We are going to be using some butter, half cup of breadcrumbs, half cup of grated Parmesan, 3 tablespoons of flour, half a teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of black pepper, 2.5 cups of whole milk. We are using corkscrew cavatappi instead of the regular traditional elbow macaroni, only because this is just fun and I like the texture and the shape. And then for our cheeses, we have 2 cups of Gouda and 1 cup each of extra sharp yellow cheddar and sharp white cheddar. Now you can use Swiss, you can use Gruyere, you can use any good melting cheese for this. These 3 just happen to be my fave. So I am starting off first by getting the water going so that I can boil the noodles. And then I am going to start making the sauce for the cream. You guys know from Dr. V's video how to make bechamel sauce. So I'm going to skip over that part, and then I will pick up when I get ready to add the cheese into the sauce itself. All right, first up, we are going to melt 3 tablespoons of butter into this pot here. Get that all nice and melty. Then we're going to add our flour and our salt and pepper to make our roux. I'll make the sauce, and then I will add the cheese. So over here you guys can see the water. Now, as I showed you when I was showing you guys how to make spaghetti, we're just waiting for the water to boil. We don't put the pasta in until the water has boiled. I'm going to go ahead and add some salt to that because, again, as I told you when we were learning how to make spaghetti, salting your water, that's your chance to season your pasta. If you don't put salt in the water, your pasta's not going to have any taste. Feel free to oversalt the water just a little bit, it's fine. So we're going to let that boil, and then I'm going to add the pasta to that. All right, you can see that water is just starting to boil. You can also see my butter still melting in my pot over here. Still waiting for that water to get that rolling boil. All right, there's that boil. In goes our pasta. We're going to pop it down, give it a quick stir, and then let that boil. Meanwhile, let me get back to this roux and this bechamel sauce. All right, so we are whisking until we get nice and thick. I added a little bit of smoked paprika because I like how it works with the cheeses that I use for my mac and cheese. So we're going to get this bubbly and thick. And once it's bubbly and thick, we're going to turn off the heat. We're going to, or turn down the heat. We're going to remove it, start adding the cheese. Of course, now we're going to wait for our pasta to boil and get all nice and ready. The pasta, again, we want it kind of al dente because it's going to go in the oven for a little bit once we get everything added to it. All right, we are starting to thicken up here. And we're going to start adding this cheese here in just a little bit. Just, you can see how that mixture has changed. All right. Give it about another minute. You can see that very creamy consistency now that you get from your bechamel sauce, right? All right, so now we're going to slowly start adding in the cheese. So much cheese. And we just keep stirring it while we're adding the cheese. Cheese, we want it to get nice and look at that, See how that's changing color and getting nice and creamy. You gotta keep stirring, okay? Turn down that heat, keep stirring. Okay, once you've got all your cheese added. All right, there we go. All right, we're gonna take it off the heat. Pick up any stray pieces of cheese that might, stick to my stove. And this is some beautiful cheese sauce. Make sure all that cheese gets nice and melted. Really need a smaller spoon, but that's good. That is good. All right. Fantastic. Cheese sauce is good. I'm going to take that off the heat entirely. Meanwhile, we're going to finish with our pasta. And it is just about ready to drain and get our cheese into it and then get it into our pot. So again, here's our pasta. I have moved it to a different eye because I'm also in the process of making dinner for Dad and myself, because we're not just going to eat macaroni and cheese. I mean, you could make a meal off macaroni and cheese, but we're trying to be a little bit healthy around here. So this is just about ready to get drained. Of course, once it drains, we're going to bring it back to the stove. We're going to add the cheese to it, and and then I'll show you us doing that as well. Yep, there we go. So with this cavatelli, this is our I always call it cavatelli, cavatappi. So, like I said, you want it just a little bit al dente because it's going in the oven. But that's good. It's starting to cut through. So that is a good, we're almost done. Our pasta is ready to go, so I'm going to go drain it, and then I will bring it back over here. We'll get the cheese mixed into it. I am turning the eye off. We don't want to overcook anything when we come back. All right, so now it's time to add the cheese to the pasta. So in that goes. All right, woo, that's a lot of cheese, my friends. I'm gonna get that mixed together, get all that cheese incorporated with that pasta. Oh yes. Look at that nice cheesy goodness. Oh my God. You will never go back to boxed macaroni and cheese again after you've had home cooked real mac and cheese. All right, so here's what's coming next. Here I have a nice pre-greased pan. I sprayed it with avocado oil spray. So now I'm going to bring over my macaroni and cheese, and into the prepared dish it goes. Do not leave behind any of that cheese, guys. The more the merrier. Everybody needs to come out and play. All right. Whoops. Good for you. Hey, you escaped. Oh. Well, escaped into my mouth. Oh, it's so good. All right. Finishing touches before it goes in the oven. Give everybody a nice stir. All right. We're going to pop on. I'm going to flip my pork chops over here real quick. All right. So we have a little bit of breadcrumbs that go on the top, along with a little bit of that grated Parmesan, just that last little bit of cheese to give it that little tart kick. And now this is going to go under a low broiler for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then we'll be ready to serve. All right, I am going to pull the macaroni and cheese out of the oven. Why do I have a towel down? Well, please do not ever pull anything out of the oven and put it on your kitchen countertop. You should have a trivet or a towel under it at all times. Look at there. That is some real mac and cheese, my friends. Let me get you a little bit closer. Yep, all right. So let's dig into that. Ignore my dinner plate. You can go, oh, hear that crunch? Oh, heck yeah. All right. All right, guys, go home, make yourself some mac and cheese. Friendsmas is coming up. Have some friends over. Show them what you've learned how to cook in the cooking club so far this year. And happy holidays to everybody.